Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. Let's see, today is Saturday. It is May 10th, the day before Mother's Day. Clock's still not fixed, so 3:31, 24.4 degrees centigrade. Yeah, it's kind of hot. Where are we here? And this one says 76. And Blinky here says 73, 74, something like that. Anyway, just got up from my nap. This is a 4-day run for me this week, but I took Saturday night off because that's what I do. Work has a new wrinkle. Supposedly, this time, what is going to happen is they are selling the factory, the equipment, and the people, or the operators, to a company. And my company is going to hold on to engineering and maintenance. I'm an engineer assigned to a maintenance department. I'm known as an equipment engineer. So anyway, they're going to hold on to engineering and maintenance and lease us to the new company. And the new company is gradually, I guess we're supposed to apply for jobs if you're in engineering and maintenance. You're supposed to apply for your job, and if they want you, they take you. But if they don't want you, it's undefined. These, once again, rumors. My question instantly comes up. So, I'm working for one company and I'm leased to another company, and they're trying to figure out if they want me or not. I guess I'm employed as long as I'm with my first company being leased, but when they're done leasing me, am I laid off? Am I fired? Who laid me off? My original company, I guess, laid me off. If we go through this whole situation, do I get severance or am I smoked? Anyway, I guess I've more or less decided, given everything that's going on, and I went through my finances and talked it over with my wife, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get on that bridge to retirement. The bridge to retirement guarantees me to the end of 2015 with a no layoff clause until the end of 2015. I work 60% of my schedule, which means I'll work 2 nights a week instead of working 3-4, 3-4. It would just be 2-2-2-2. So it would be 2 nights a week. And so I work 60% of my schedule and I get 70% of my pay. So I suffer a 30% reduction in pay. But I'm almost if you include vacation time, I'd basically be working half time, right? Working half time at 70% pay, which obviously extends my medical benefits. It allows me to keep putting money in an IRA with their matching, though the matching would go down by 30%. So that's what I'm seriously considering. But even if I take that, what they can do to me is change my shift schedule. Instead of working nights, which I get a 12.5% shift premium for, they can drop me to days and make me come in 2.5 days a week. No, 3 days a week. 3 8-hour days a week. I'd have to work 24 hours a week. And they would, once again, cut my pay by another 12%, which means almost a 50% reduction in pay, and I have to go in more frequently. So I don't know what the heck to do. I'm really thinking of taking the bridge to retirement, and I'm thinking in my own mind what I have to have in my mind. I've been talking about getting laid off forever, is that it's anytime it's over, right? Most folks, and probably many of you out there can tell me about this, where they went into work and it got to be Friday and the boss handed them an envelope on Friday and said, yeah, it's been fun, you're laid off. So that could happen anywhere, where you get no severance, you get nothing, you get thrown out. The company I work for used to be one of the late great companies in this country, actually in the world. They were one of these companies that had a no layoff policy when I joined them. They had medical benefits when you retire. They had, they used to pay decent. Your pay would go up. They had all kinds of policies that if there was an issue between you and your manager, upper level management would see to it that things were smoothed out, right? That there shouldn't be unhappiness and anger and all that other trivia. Even to go a step further, if you were in a meeting, they had something known as respect for the individual. So if you were in a meeting and you mumbled under your breath something like, oh God, that guy is a parental guidance, such a dick, right? Because he was behaving like such a parental guidance dick. Your manager would call you out and say, hey, we have respect for the individual. You don't do that. You don't call somebody a dick or mumble that they're a dick. They have their point of view. You have your point of view. You work it out. You don't just slam somebody. It used to be a good company to work for. I guess things change, and once again, maybe I need to put on my big boy pants and get used to the idea that most people, the day they're going to be laid off, they walk in, they get this week's pay, they get whatever vacations on the books. If their boss is happy, they throw them maybe an extra couple of days just to kind of ward off evil spirits, and it's over. So maybe that's where I got to put my mind. Each day I work is just another day in the bank, so to speak. I've mentioned this. Financially, my wife and I are okay. But the problem is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the bird, that you kind of give it a push and it drinks. It keeps drinking from the glass and eventually it stops. Well, that's kind of what retirement is like, unless somehow you have your monthly income increasing. And that's hard, right? If you get a pension, and I'm lucky enough to get a pension, it never goes up. It is what it is, and that's all it will ever be. At some point, one could get Social Security, perhaps. I'm in that age group in my 50s where it still is not a given. If you take a look, and this isn't political, this is just factual, folks. If you take a look at the Paul Ryan budget for us 50-something-year-olds, if you're less than 55, he wants to give you a voucher for Medicare, which is cool, right? Voucher for Medicare is cool, and depends how much is on what the voucher is for, right? If the voucher is for $1 million a month, it's really cool, right? You got leftover money. If the voucher is for $100 a month, you don't buy $1,000, $1,500 worth of medical insurance for $1,000 a month, eh? Or for $100 a month. So it depends what the voucher is for. And also, not that he specifically is proposing, though once again, I'm not sure if getting rid of Obamacare is in the budget, but the rest of his colleagues would like to see Obamacare go away, which is cool. People believe or don't believe in that. But if you have a voucher and you would like to buy insurance and there's no healthcare exchanges or anything to buy it through, that means you go to the unregulated free market. The unregulated free market here in New York last year was, $1,500 a month. through the healthcare exchange here in New York, it's about $1,000 a month for my wife and I. So I don't know. These are all facts, right? I'm not saying which is right, which is wrong. It probably depends partly how you were raised, partly what you believe in, and also partly on your age. If you're, 18, 20, 30, maybe even 40, you've never been sick in a day in your life, you're saying, why the hell should I buy any health insurance? Where if you're 50, 60, 70, and you've had a few visits to the hospital and to the doctor, and maybe you have a hip replacement and some work on your back or your hand or your neck or whatever, and you're thinking to yourself, thank God I had health insurance. So I don't know. I'm not saying what's right, what's wrong. I'm just ruminating about what is. Okay, folks, enough about my stupidity. By the way, I kind of go through it a little bit, my stupidity, because there are plenty of you guys out there who may have already been through this, or may be going through this, or may be going through this way in the future or in a short-term future. And sometimes it helps to say, well, I remember this clown on YouTube who talked about, what it was like to be facing the end at work, what it was like to try to figure out how to retire, and all that other stuff. Retirement, in a sentence, is the following, though. Two sentences. What are your monthly expenses? And when you retire, what will your monthly income be? Income you don't have to work for. Retirement means you're not working, right? So if you retire and your monthly income is less than your monthly expenses, now you have a problem. You have something you need to figure out. Whether you're going to take parts off of machines and sell them on eBay, which I'm not going to do, by the way. Unless you're going to do that, if you have a hoard like I do, and that's going to be your new gig until you run out of parts, or you're going to go get a job somewhere, a nice old man job like delivering auto parts or driving cars around an auction or delivering cars for a dealership or something, or doing inspections for somebody or whatever, cool old man job. Or you want to go back and get another real job, perhaps go to the local Hannaford and learn how to be a butcher, or the A&P, or I don't know, someplace, and learn how to be a butcher, and start a second career and take whatever pennies you have and add it to the second career and try to go forward. I don't know. Everybody's retirement gig is different, but no matter what, whether you're working or not, your monthly expenditures, let's hope that they're less, or at the worst case, equal to what your income is. All right, the topic of this video is going to be the China Quad Starter. I spent time, not huge time, but time doing some research on this. And my starter, which I think you guys could see here, what I've done is I've taken the armature out, right, and I put this is all in a Ziploc bag, right, so here's the armature with the coil, with the magnets, actually permanent magnets. Here's the nuts and bolts. I decided not to put it all into one of those plastic groceries bags and lose it. And this is what I have left. I don't know how well you can see. What's left is, you can see the armature goes in, the gear from the armature turns another gear, round and round it goes. This is chain drive. Somebody said it might be train drive. They were 100% right. And you can see the brushes there. Turns out the plastic that holds the brushes is melted. And I might try to get that out of there and see if I can't fix it up. But boy, it's going to be a bitch to put that armature back in with those brushes able to float, right? Once they're able to push out, it's going to be a bitch to get that armature in. Parental guidance. But so given that and so forth, I sniffed around a little bit for a starter. They do sell these starters on eBay. They cost somewhere around $30, some as low as 21, some as high as 50, but the average seems to be $29.95. But they describe themselves as 3-bolt starters. Well, there are 4 bolts that hold that starter to the case, to the body of the quad, to the motor. So, but one of the bolts goes through the starter motor. It's not, even though it's long enough where it helps hold the starter to the case, it's also holding the starter motor to the starter gear reduction, so to speak. So does that count, or is it 3 plus that one? That one really doesn't count? I don't know. In my definition, or the way it looks like a 4 bolt to me. So I found a lot of 3 bolts, and what I need is a 4 bolt top mount 72cc China Quad electric starter. And once again, I'm not exactly finding exactly what I need. Also, if you're familiar with the Horde, if you guys have a good memory, there is a couple of China quads in here, and particularly this orange one looks very familiar. I mean, like, just about exactly the same. So I need to yeah, the door just closed on it. The wind's been blowing. It's like a storm's blowing in. I need to spend some quality time looking these over and figuring things out. If maybe I could steal a starter or something from one of these guys. But the starter, as I mentioned, is chain drive, and to put the starter in, I got to take the case apart or figure out how to kind of lift the chain off of it to get the starter off, and then you got to kind of lift the chain and get it all put back together again without dropping the chain into the case and getting everything wrapped around. Anyway, I guess what I'm telling you is I'm going to put the China bike, the China Quad, on hold for a little while. Next up, and I want to take a close look at it and see if I can't make it run this week, is that pit bike. That pit bike looks really cool, and I'd really like to get it running. I think that'll be fun to just kind of beat around on. It looks like it's going to be big enough to carry me. I'm down to 195 pounds, so it'll be big enough to haul me about. And I'm 5'8", so I'm not though I'm big boned, so to speak, or fat, I'm not huge tall, so I think it'll just be a fun bike to kind of bat around the property on. So I'd like to get that thing going. Probably what I'm going to do is get it started in its current condition, and then think about breaking into it and see what's wrong with the Kickstarter after I get it running, after I find out what's really going on with it. Alright folks, this is getting to be a 20-minute video. Sorry to have it so long. Thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down and your head up. Don't forget Mother's Day. Call your mother. Give your wife a flower. Be nice on Mother's Day. And we'll catch up with you guys on the the next episode of The Horde. Bye now.